What's
Nice,
up?
man. Thanks for joining us, hey.
Yeah,
on the
man.
show.
Thank you guys for
Killer
having me.
set,
This
man.
is-
That was a killer set, bro.
Killer sets from
I'm
both of
trying
you
to-
guys, man. That was
Trying to
really
learn
good.
from the best.
No,
DKutz is my hero for those who don't know.
Oh, man,
Has
thanks,
been for
bro.
All
like
of
10
us.
years.
Thanks,
All of
bro.
our heroes.
Now, you guys are my heroes, man. You guys, like, I mean, if you guys, like, didn't put all this together, man, like, yeah, I wouldn't be here because I'm not really good with technology, man. You know what I mean?
This guy.
Yeah,
so
Armin's the
Armin
go-to,
is
man.
the brains of this operation.
Armin is the brains of the operation.
Shout out to
Armin's
the world's
brains.
tallest DJ.
Yeah, shout outs.
I'm still trying. As you can see,
He's.
that's not a flattering shot. All right.
I gotta put your nuts on the camera like that.
Sorry, man.
Just because it's after dark now.
It's after dark.
Yeah,
The music's finished. Thanks again for coming on, man.
No,
Yeah,
thank you.
That was
guys.
fun.
I appreciate it.
That was very.
That was mad fun.
We were just gobsmacked. Just wow. Just
Yeah,
the talent,
man.
the music selection.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The blends, man, was so
And
clean.
Yeah,
man.
I was just gonna touch on that, man. Like, man, those transitions were smooth. Dude.
Yeah, man.
Like,
It's just the right timing as well. Obviously, because
Yeah.
you're musically minded, man. So like you can tell when you play on the decks, man. You just know when to drop them. You know what I mean?
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, for real. Like I'm doing this same thing where I sit here and I watch you guys do what you do, and I watch you guys every week and
That's
try and
cool,
pick up
man.
a few things. And I just want to bring some good music and try and do it the best I can without, try. I mean, look.
well, you
I
definitely brought it, man. I'll
Oh,
tell you
yeah,
that.
man. Yeah.
I
Definitely,
appreciate it. This was mad fun. Like I appreciate having me. And shout out to this guy for putting all this together.
Yeah.
Like this room, this setup is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I was saying we should have just thrown a party on a Saturday and just have you
Yeah,
jump
man.
on.
Yeah, man.
100%.
Awesome, man.
I'm with that.
Party at the Q Point this Saturday.
Hell yeah.
Social distancing rules apply.
Yep. What is it? One person per 4 square meters.
So 4 people in the garage at a time.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
So
We're
that's it.
outside.
We're all here.
Yeah, man.
We're full capacity here. We're going to jump straight into it. We've got a question from the lovely with love MC Jess.
Yeah.
What up, MC Jess?
What's up, MC Jess?
I want to
Hey,
know if there
Jess.
is classical music training there. We did watch, was it the Tupac cover piano? What were we talking about? We saw his Tupac video.
Oh, changes.
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 Ah,
the one on
yeah.
the grand piano. Or
Yes.
Yeah, that one, man.
Was-
that was awesome.
Is there classical
Yeah.
training?
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Classical.
So
Uh,
how old were you when you?
I think I was
Started.
5
Oh,
or
slam.
something when I started messing with the piano. And
Wow, man.
yeah, and then my parents picked up on it and they sent me to piano lessons, and I did the whole classical training thing through, my childhood, and graduated from that. And then when I hit high school, it wasn't cool to be a classical pianist.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what turned into DJing. So DJ
Yeah.
was my first kind of
Like
my
love,
yeah,
yeah.
my love into like the before production or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was always DJing, and yeah, I learned on the CDJs. I was a bit late, to the vinyl game.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a beast like DKutz over here.
Nah,
D-Cuts just rocks up 2 minutes before we go live. Just plugs in and jumps on this thing on the roll and
Kills it.
kills it.
Never seen one ever before in his life, and he just
I
jumps
never,
on
never
it.
used one of these things, man. But it's pretty cool, bro. Like honestly, it's
You christened it.
I love the sampler on that thing, man.
Yeah, it's
Like,
fun.
That is awesome, eh? This piece of equipment. Shout out to Roland as well, because
Shout out to
Sergio is
Roland.
you're hooked up.
I'm
with
I'm a rolling artist.
Yeah, he's a rolling
a
artist.
worldwide artist. So I
Yeah.
work with them in all the countries. So in Japan is the headquarters, but
Yeah.
I got big Roland family in LA, big Roland family here,
Awesome.
and they've
man.
always supported me and shown me love. And
Yeah, man. Well,
this and
we
the-
see the videos, man. Like the videos are crazy that you do. Like, man, it's so
appreciate it,
awesome,
man.
man.
I appreciate
Yeah, I've had a lot of friends like say, man, do you know this guy? Because like he's like like it's pretty big, man. Like the stuff that you do, man.
I
Like,
appreciate it.
The talent is just not something that's found in a bedroom sort of thing. This is like on a global scale, man. Like
Yeah.
that's what the boys and I like. We always talk about like
No, for
how
real,
how
that's-
much potential like you have and how much like how much more you can do. In the scene, man. So it's honestly, it's actually a real blessing, man, to have you here, and just a privilege to have you here too,
Oh, man, I'm blessed to be here. Like,
100%.
it's all love, man. Like, for those who don't know, you guys, I've known you guys for so long. I met him first like 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And D-Cuts, like, I remember when I was doing my first gigs around Sydney and stuff, it was always
Yeah.
you on the
I remember
decks.
that.
D-Cuts was on the decks.
Yeah.
And I was just like watching him mesmerized at just his hands and the way he's, his blends and cuts. And I was like, man, I want to be him when I grow up.
Oh man, I didn't realize
real.
it.
No, for real, like always. And I learned a lot just from watching, you know, the people before me.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
and
awesome.
I got really lucky when I started going to LA. I started meeting my heroes and stuff, and I just tried
Yeah.
to pick up as much as I could. I was probably too young to realize how lucky I was to be in that position.
Yeah.
So I feel like I could have learned a lot more, but I was still trying to enjoy myself, and I was in a new land and a
Yeah.
new
And
everything.
when you say your heroes, like when you went to LA, like who did you meet? What were the artists? Yeah, just
so
Drop those names.
yeah, drop those names.
Oh,
man.
here we
name
go.
dropping.
Here we
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
Like name dropping, you know that. But
Who have you
okay,
been working
so I went to LA first time because I met Teddy Riley over here.
Yeah.
And Teddy wanted me to come to LA.
How did
Because he
that
was
start
doing it.
before you
Yeah,
go on?
Um,
How did you
so-
link up here in Sydney?
There was like a promoter. He was doing a Black Street show, and I was trying to get on support for that. And I had like no name back then, so it was like, you know, who are you to support? Blah blah blah. And then another friend introduced me to Teddy through just her personal connection through the promoter and all that stuff. And then Teddy went back to the States and he asked the promoter to book me as a support. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, so he didn't know who I was and didn't want to book me because, you know, it's like, I mean, I don't blame the guy, you know, who am I, you know, but yeah, and then when Teddy went back, because he heard my album, my first album that I put out over here under a different name, and he wanted to have me open the show for him, and then after that, he announced on stage in front of everybody that he wanted to sign me,
Wow.
and I was like, hold on a minute, I haven't signed anything yet, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then a few months later, you know, I did my whole visa situation. I went there for 8 months. I lived with Teddy at his house, so I lived with him.
You lived with him for 8
Yeah,
months.
lived with him for 8 months. Yeah, and
man.
we always went to the studio and worked and stuff like that. And he was away a lot doing like Black Street tours and whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
yeah, he's a
man.
busy guy.
He's
Yeah.
like, man, he's really well respected in the industry.
Yeah,
man.
he's a
Like,
legend, man.
And man, he's like, as Dayday and I were talking about, like he's planted like so many of his New Jack songs, man. He
Yeah.
created New Jack.
He's worked
man.
with Michael
Yeah, he's-
Jackson.
Yeah, he's worked with the greatest.
he's the
man.
king of New Jack Swing.
Yeah, he's the king of New
Yeah.
Jack Swing, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to Teddy, man, if
Yeah,
you're watching
that's
this,
big
man.
bro, and till this
Yeah.
day, you know, that's my big bro. And
That's
but
awesome,
you know, off times, you know, I didn't have much to do while I was waiting around for Teddy to get back, so
Yeah.
I just started reaching out to people that I liked, and me, like, and my sister actually, we hit up Terrace Martin, producer over there. He works with Kendrick and Wiz Khalifa and all those guys,
Yeah.
and Snoop. Snoop's a big one, you know. And he invited me over, and we just became like really good friends. And then he introduced me to DJ Quick, and then I met a lot of people through Quick, and that's that gig you guys saw the video of. It was
10
yeah.
years ago, man.
Yeah, 10
10
years
years
ago.
ago.
10 years ago. So
Babyface Sergio,
yeah.
man. No bump fluff. No
Yeah, I don't know if you
Side-
guys saw the
terrible
promo.
sideburns. Oh my god.
Yeah, he was actually performing on stage. If you missed it, I posted on my promos.
That's right. Yeah.
He was actually performing, not supporting, performing with
Yeah.
DJ Quick and Terrace Martin.
Quick is the goat.
Yeah, but man, we were just loving how he's just jumping around everywhere.
Yeah, man. He's all over it.
Quick's a funny guy. Like he was cool. He embraced me, and when I went to his house, he showed me a lot of love. And then we did rehearsal with him, and through that same show, the lineup was crazy. Like it was like BJ the Chicago Kid did a song. Faith Evans came out and did like 3 songs. Exhibit did 3 songs.
Man.
There's a guy Bobby Brackens. He did a song. Who else? There was a few, more unknown West Coast dudes, and then me, and Terrace. Terrace was there too. So that show was crazy, and I got to meet like all the artists and all that stuff. And so that outside of Teddy, like that, I was kind of just trying to find my way around the scene. And I was lucky that I got to meet a lot of people that I looked up to, and they were the reason I started making beats. I started doing production and stuff. And that LA was cool. It was love-hate in the beginning, but I learned to love it, and because there's so much opportunity there, and there's so many people there that I look up to that I can learn from. So I just try to surround myself with that.
Yeah. And speaking of that, man, like what like when you were a kid, like, or when you started getting into music, what were your influences, man? Like like what made you like who you are today, like in terms of musical influences?
I mean, my mom would always play everything,
Yeah.
just music. She's like a musical library. Shout out to mom.
Yeah.
Mama.
What's up, Mom?
What's
Shout
up,
out to the
mom?
mom.
Yeah, she knows it was her. She knows it
Yeah,
came
man.
from her.
Yeah, what kind of artists?
Well, yeah, when I was, besides doing the classical music stuff and all that stuff, when I really started, DJing and stuff like that, it was just straight up G-funk, West Coast music.
Wow.
And but besides that, like outside of the West Coast stuff, like everything you played, everything I played, besides all that stuff, it was Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis are my heroes. Like,
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I got to meet them the
Man,
last
did
trip
ya?
I was there. Yeah, got to
Wow, man.
the Roland guys actually introduced me to them, and
Nice.
yeah, they're the goats. They're the absolute like
Yeah,
creme de la creme of
they're
producers
like
to me.
the super producers.
Yeah, they're the ones.
Yeah.
They're the ones. You know.
They were the
And,
DJ Khaled's of back then.
Yeah, yeah. The DJ Khaled of the 1980s.
Yeah, that's it, and 90s.
But yeah, but like the
Wow,
whole
man.
Minneapolis funk stuff, Prince,
Yep.
Jam Lewis, Janet Jackson, you
Yeah,
know,
that's it, man. It works, man.
and yeah, so that's besides the West Coast hip hop G funk stuff. It was all that. It was all the funk soul stuff.
So that's what got you into. Oh, well, I guess that's what's got you into playing your sound now, right? Like that's,
Yeah.
that influenced your sound.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like even if I really like doing this house influence stuff right now, and but I still try to put a bit of that West Coast, that G funk, because I
Yeah.
play that naturally, like because I play
Yep.
keys, that's my main thing, and I try to put that flavor into everything I make, because
Yep.
it might be we might be going into the house world or this world or that world, but everything can have a bit of G in it,
Yeah, for sure.
So that's
yeah.
what I try to do. Like if I can put that G funk in it.
Yeah, man. We
I'm
just
happy.
that set, man, was just like for me, it was like a bit of a journey, man. Like it took me back, but then you brought in some of that newer sort of sound, and it's like, man, this honestly, it just goes, like the way you were blending stuff, and your whole set was just really well structured, man. Like
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Coming from you
honestly,
guys, damn.
Shout outs, man, because like I don't think I've ever heard you play like a solid set. I've heard you play like in terms of
Yeah.
talk box and things
Yeah.
like that, and then perform, and it's amazing,
Yeah.
But man, you jumped on that, and I was like, this guy is a pro, man. You should be a DJ, man.
I
was like,
appreciate
yeah. I was like thinking, bro, just do some gigs, man. Like do some of our gigs.
Hey
or
man,
something,
if you're listening, book me.
Yeah.
I'm playing.
This is the audition.
This is the audition. That was the audition. Rewind this.
Yeah, watch it back. Send it to your promoters.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
it's cool to be able to experiment and have the freedom, to just genre hop and
Yeah.
see what blends with what. Because I always try to do that as well. Like if I'm gonna play a set, if it's for an hour and a half, or whatever, a lot of DJs that I watched growing up, they have a flavor that they're known for, that they stick to, and all that stuff, and that's dope. But
Yeah.
I want to be able to find a smart way and a clean way of genre, like hopping from genre to genre and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, but still keep the vibe consistent without,
Yeah.
losing the audience or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
good.
and I feel like that comes back to the musical training or whatever.
Yep.
Because I pick up on a lot of like, oh, this is in the same key and this chord progression might work and all that kind of stuff. So I really listen out for things like that.
Yeah.
And
So the term I use is musicality. Like that's what I was
Musicality.
trying to say a few weeks back, or probably about a month ago or something, is that musicality is something that a lot of DJs don't have. Like some DJs have the skill in terms of beat mixing at the right BPMs, but when it comes down to keys and chords and when it comes down to like dropping the tracks, it just sounds off when
Yeah.
they blend two songs. So that's the musicality side
Yeah.
coming from your musical background. So
Yeah.
that's obviously, it's really evident that you can see that you know it, because man, those drops, man, were crazy today.
no, I appreciate it.
Honestly, I'm really mesmerized about the set, man. Like seriously, that was like I told Eddie, bro, I could listen to this all night, man.
I should
Yeah.
record that. I
know,
should hit
it's
that
a
record
G-
button on Serato
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've recorded it. It's
Yeah,
recorded.
Oh, yeah,
it's
the
all recorded.
actual
so
I'll give
you the
it's
video
all
and
for
everything.
record books, yeah.
with the world's tallest DJ's voiceovers.
Yeah, with all the shout outs.
Yeah,
I love the shout outs.
Yeah.
That's what
Pretty
I'm
much
here for, the
shitty,
shout
yeah.
outs, really.
Shout me out. It's like you performed. man.
Yeah,
But I appreciate it. This is
Yeah.
coming from you guys.
Oh no, man! We appreciate you having you here, man.
I'm
Seriously.
sorry, I had
Thanks a
to I had to make these guys use a controller because
lot. That's
that's
all
what
good,
I'm.
man. I had fun with that.
Because Roland. First of all, I got to represent the Roland fam,
Yeah,
but
man.
at the same time,
That's it.
it's a lot of fun, using their products, and because
Oh, yeah.
they're just different, and it's a challenge for you guys. It was no, I say that, but it was absolutely no challenge for me.
Yeah. Well,
DKutz walked into the room like 3 minutes before we went on the air, and he's like, "Plug me in, let's go." And he just started cutting it up like he's been using it for 20 years. I'm like, "Yeah, man."
wait, that was after installing the drivers,
The
which is why we were late.
The pizza got here before he did.
Yeah, we ordered the pizza and it came before he did.
Yeah,
But
sorry, guys.
moving back to the
Beast.
your LA stint, here in Australia and Sydney, people are finding it really hard to make it.
Right.
And then here is you going to LA and working with like these big names. Like, what was their reaction of this Sydney kid, like working with them? Like,
I feel like,
did they take you seriously?
well, yeah. I mean, how honest do you want me to be?
No, we want to know the real deal.
All right, the real deal is there's a lot of times where just because of you know, the fact that I have an accent, or, you know, I'm not the typical kind of person that you see doing this style of music, you know, like, because I work with a lot of West Coast hip hop people, you know, just dope, talented artists that are from the hoods of LA and, you know, the places that we listen, you know, the music that comes that out of these neighborhoods that we listen to, we grew up listening to. I work with those people, and for the most part, it's been, they embrace me, you know, they give me that chance and all that stuff, and I've met like a lot of really good friends for life through this, you know, and I love those people. But every now and then, you know, you just kind of like, I know that I'm the one that is the outcast, you know, I'm the one that's walking in there with the accent that's not, you know, from the same areas, or, you know, I don't have that LA mentality the way they do and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely, and that kind of comes down from circle to circle. Like, it depends like which circle you're in and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, there's different people, you know, in all sorts of things. It's just not to say anything bad about them at all. It's just they move differently. You know?
For sure.
But I feel like in a way it's my advantage, because there's a difference between growing up somewhere but studying something. So when you grow up somewhere and you learn the culture and the music and all that kind of stuff, that's one way of learning it. But then when you study it from the outside point of view, it's like you really look into every little intricate thing about the music that, you know, like G-Funk is like, you know, what makes G-Funk G-Funk, you know? And that's kind of just in you if you're born there. But, you know, if you're not from there, you got to really study it. And it's all that. It's like, it's kind of an advantage in a way, because you're constantly learning something new about it. So that's kind of my advantage a little bit.
Because it's not a natural, you become what's the word? You become more hungry for it, because it's not something that you're naturally, like, for example, the guys that grew up there, they'll probably be like, oh, that's what we normally do, you know. But when you're coming from the outside going in, like, it's like saying that, you know, you want to really get good at it, and you want to actually, as you said, study it to the point where you know about the history of it, you know what kind of sounds they use, and all the particular sort of, you know, all the differences, you know that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you actually, as you said, you have an advantage with that, and you actually, I'm not saying become better, but, you know, you appreciate them, I guess.
Of course.
Makes sense. Yeah,
of course. Yeah. But like anything, you know, it's got to be in you.
Yeah.
You know, to a certain degree, and then from there, it's up to you to elevate it how far you want to elevate it. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's just, it's kind of like everybody has that kind of music that, you know, they are attached to, and it just hits them differently, you know. And that's what's in me. That's what's always been in me. So
you can tell, man. Like, it just comes like naturally in terms of like the way you play, man, and just the way you
it's working.
And even the improv, man. Like, the stuff on there is crazy, bro. Like, I just can't. Like, I'm a big fan, man.
I'm a big fan of you, though, as you can tell.
These guys got a room.
All right.
Jeez.
It's getting heavy and it's getting deep.
I haven't seen, hey, look, remember when was the last time we seen Sergio, man?
Let's talk about the last time you saw Sergio.
Can we talk about the last time?
Let's have a casual chat,
Because
guys.
there's a guy on the camera here that's quiet right now. Right, we are to put him on the spot.
I don't want to talk about
So let's set the scene.
Set the scene, bro.
Me, Dayday, DKutz, we're getting ready for bed.
What a break.
We're in LA.
In the hotels, bro.
In the hotel, getting ready for bed. It's the last night in LA. We've got an early flight in the morning. Yeah, let's get some rest. I'm tired from this whole trip. Spent so much money, ate so much food, and someone calls us. Someone calls us, boys, come out. It's my birthday.
It's my birthday. I didn't even celebrate my birthday, but I was like,
man.
you know what? If these guys are here, it's my birthday.
Yeah. So, yeah, we were staying in Hollywood. You came and picked us up and took us to K-Town.
Shout out to K-Town.
K-Town, man.
That
K-Town
nightlife,
was
that life
awesome,
there is
man.
pretty cool, hey?
Yeah, man. That Korean barbecue was good.
It's my favorite food.
Dayday, what was your
K-barbecue.
favorite drink that night?
I don't want to talk about it.
Let's talk about the fact that Dayday doesn't drink.
Dayday doesn't drink, never gets drunk. But this night, some special guest who is here tonight with us
And how
managed to accomplish
how can I couldn't say no, man.
I'm sorry,
It's
man.
real.
peer
It's
pressure.
real.
Peer pressured like a mofo.
Are you going to apologize or?
Hell no. I've never been proud. That's my proudest accomplishment to date.
Yeah, bro.
I got nah.
Bro,
Like,
you
I'm not.
broke DJ Dayday, bro.
I did,
Like,
and I'm
honestly.
not trying to be an enabler, and I'm not trying to, cause any problems here, because there are people that really struggle with this.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but it was my birthday. I didn't
it
celebrate,
was,
so we had to do something, and I mean, I didn't force it down your throat there, did I? I was faded. I don't remember.
Nah, that was an awesome night. I don't regret that at all.
Super pause.
Nah,
No,
yeah.
Dayday really had a good time. Like
Yeah.
it was
no
honestly-
regrets, man.
Man, it was so cool, bro.
yeah.
Like it was such a good night.
It was, yeah, it was a bit of a challenge waking up
yeah.
after like 2-3 hours sleep.
We had an
but
early flight, right?
yeah, I think I closed my eyes for about an hour and then
But
I
it-
was like,
but
oh,
this-
it's time to get ready.
I remember that.
Yeah,
2 hours.
But this guy drunk is the same as what he is sober, just a little more shocked.
So when he went to the toilet,
He was just like,
I just a little bit more
just,
slurred.
yeah, just slower, just kind of like, damn, what's happening? Just shaking his head. He's like, it happened. Soju, man.
soju, 8 bottles of soju.
8 bottles of soju.
Shout out to K-Town and Soju.
LA shots are no joke either.
Yeah,
You know,
big.
I mean, our shots are like this. Their ones are just.
Yeah,
They don't play when it comes to
Yeah,
these shots,
it's
man.
chaser with a shot of
Yeah,
water.
it's just poison with a shot of poison. Chase it with poison.
With love, MC Jess asks, with your LA period, when you reached out to the artists, was this before social media? How did you do it? Like, how did you connect
It
and link
was
up?
kind of in the early stages of the Facebook post MySpace, and yeah, but I reached out to a lot of people. Just didn't hear back from a lot of them, of course,
Which
as,
is
the,
normal,
as
right?
the old story goes. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's standard. But yeah, it was. I think it was a few Facebook messages, whatever. But a lot of people I met through people. Like it's weird. Like once you meet 1 or 2 people that are in the game and they're moving already, they you just naturally, organically meet people. You run into people. You're in the studio with someone. You're like, hey, give me your number. No. You know, like I got so many friends now that I work with outside of music, because you know I'll meet like a videographer, and you know now this. You know, I met him in the studio because he's also a drummer at times, but he was there with his other friend who's an artist, you know, and he was in the studio and all that stuff, and then we connect, and now he's the guy that grades all my videos. Like it's weird, like it's, and then you know he knows some other like there's a lot of people that you just kind of meet through people,
Yeah.
and
It's a big
just by
network, eh?
yeah,
Like-
I mean that's just you know the standard story. Like you know you're gonna meet people if you're around people, and it's up to you to just kind of be approachable and talk and all that. And I was the complete opposite when I went the first time. You know, like I was shy, quiet, whatever. Now I'm there. I'm like, I want to know what everybody does. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just kind of have to develop that skill to, you know, be approachable and to approach people and to network. Networking is a skill. Like that's what I learned. It really is a skill. It's not just something that, you know, just happens naturally. Like I mean, for some people, yeah, but I didn't have that naturally. I was just shy, quiet.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to really make that effort to,
Yep.
you know, get myself out there, put myself out there, and break my shell.
Yeah, that's it, man.
But yeah, that's how I met people, just around other people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And as you know, obviously
of
when you
networking.
mention like, you know, oh yeah, I live with Teddy Riley, that generates some interest. You know,
yeah.
so like you live with Teddy Riley, you live with him.
Yeah.
We shared a room. Nah, jokes.
I'm like, yeah, and it was nothing to me because I was just, you know, I was living with Teddy. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, one room is just down the hall, but to people, that sounds completely different to what it is. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you live with Teddy, wow. You know,
Yeah, that's right.
and he's dope, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he's a legend at the end of the day.
Yeah,
You know,
that's right.
he's an absolute legend. Like, so yeah, that helps.
Yeah, speaking of Teddy, like, did he ever give you like any sort of pointers and tips? Like, did you like in terms of like, did he give you something important like to take home? Like, you know what I mean? In terms of
Yeah, like I mean, every time
advice.
you're in a room with Teddy, and he's working, he would kind of show you by example.
Yep.
You know, rather than sitting there like face to face having a conversation. If you just watch the guy work, you're gonna go home with something,
Wow.
you know, and it's gonna change the way you approach music and
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, we'd have like a lot of talks, and I mean, he's like me, he's just a big tech nerd. You know, like he loves gear, keyboards, and talk boxes and all that. And you know, we'd sit there and we'd talk about gear and stuff all the time. So that's like, you know, he'll be showing me photos of his iPhone. It's like this custom thing that is getting built, and you know, oh, check out my tool bus. It's got this and that. And I'm like, damn, you know. So you know, a lot of the time we're just nerding out over nerd stuff. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like Teddy's. Yeah, you just got to watch Teddy and just, you know,
So he's a more of a like he's a guy that's always working, hey. Like,
yeah.
Like,
Oh, he's always got something going on.
yeah.
You know, and you know he might seem quiet at the time, at any given point in time, but then you realize he's out in Korea killing it. You know,
Yeah.
or he's somewhere else killing it, or he lives in Vegas now, so he's in Vegas doing his thing, and
Yeah.
you know he's always doing something. Like he's
Yeah.
never stationary. You know,
Wow, man.
and he got the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame last year, I think it was. You
Wow,
know,
that's awesome.
Man.
and Yeah, he's immortalized, that guy. Like he's a legend. That's big bro.
Yeah.
But
Is his studio at his house?
He's
Where he
got.
stayed?
I haven't been to the house where he is now, but yeah, it was like bedroom studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, legit. At his
So he just
the
working
house
on
where I
stuff?
stayed, he had a bedroom set up, and she's making those songs. You know, he was doing the Gaga record and stuff at the time, or you know, working on that stuff. So, you know, he kind of showed me you really don't need much.
Yeah.
You know, you just need to be creative as hell and be talented, and like a good being a great musician helps. You know, so that's what I try to do now, like just sharpen my skills as a musician more than anything, and like, you know, with gear, with software and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Teddy, I learned a lot watching Teddy.
Yeah.
More so than talking to Teddy, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure. Wow, that's awesome, man.
I just wanna backtrack. You know, you put a big focus on networking, right? I remember that night that we went out. You networked with somebody. It
Did
was
I?
just a random, it was a random bunch of girls, and then your dog went up to them, and then
Oh, I
they
think that
fed him
was
chicken.
LA mentality, right?
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
Are they really
do you
that
remember
open?
that?
Yeah.
See, I may have been drunk, but I remember that.
Damn.
Did
Did
anything-
anything? Us the chicken, man.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. Did anything eventuate from that link up or
Nah.
no?
I don't even remember them.
No, but
I don't remember what their
They
name
were
was.
friendly, yeah, because
I remember that.
yeah,
I think I remember them being cool. What did they do though? Like there was.
I think
Yes.
your dog went up to them or something, and then they started petting your dog, and then
The dog
Oh,
was the,
right, the
dog- The icebreaker.
icebreaker.
The dog is always the icebreaker.
Yeah.
I need a dog.
Everybody needs a cool dog.
Yeah.
That's the icebreaker.
Everyone's just welcoming there, like just.
yeah, it was.
Was
chill.
it really the dog? Everyone's just open. just
No,
like,
you know what? I
"Hey."
do find that. I find that people in LA are just way more
Open.
just open to
Yeah,
meet,
chill,
conversation, whatever, all that stuff. I mean, you know, we're not bad people over here, but
Yeah.
we're definitely more reserved. We keep to ourselves.
Yeah,
It's just the
definitely.
Sydney mentality.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an Aussie mentality, but, you know,
Yeah.
I grew up in Sydney, so
Yeah.
it's definitely a Sydney thing, I think. You know?
Nice, man.
But yeah, LA people just, because I think that's what it is as well. Like everyone's chasing something in LA, so
Yeah.
everyone wants to talk to you, find out what you do. You know,
That's awesome.
all that. I mean,
Yeah.
the amount of times I've been in an Uber over there, and the guys are, you know, one guy's a director, another guy's a singer, an artist. Like there was this one guy, he drove us, he picked me up and drove me to the studio, and we just started. Oh, you know, I see you're going to the studio. What do you do? I'm like, oh yeah, I do music. He's like, oh yeah, me too. Let me play you one of my songs. The guy was incredible singer. You know, so we connected, stayed in touch on you know, Instagram, whatever, and then maybe like 2 years later or something, I walked into a studio in LA, and he was there.
Whoa.
Wow.
And this guy was just my Uber driver, you know. I was like, "You look familiar." He's like, "Oh, Sergio, what up?" I'm like, "Oh, damn, from Uber to the studio, it's crazy."
Wow. man.
That's the thing. Everyone's doing
crazy.
something there. It's
I remember
cool.
when we were in LA. Do you remember we went in the Uber and then the guy was saying something about like doing advertising or something or like some sort of thing as well. Like he was, I don't know if you were in it or you and I were in it. He was part of some project and he was saying that he's gonna make it big one day as well. Like I can't remember if it, what in particular, but there was a guy that was speaking about some sort of project he was into, or was it movies? He was probably in movies or something or filming.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that moment. But then that's the thing I paid attention to. I'm like, is everyone here trying to make it?
Yeah,
like,
it definitely seems like everyone's trying to make
Yeah.
it in entertainment.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
definitely seems that way. But yeah, it's just a hub
Yeah, it is,
for
yeah.
it, so that's why everyone
Maybe
goes there.
that's the reason why everyone's like kind of like friendly and like, you know, they sort of.
You don't want to step on the wrong toes.
Yeah, that's right. You never know who you're gonna meet, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sydney's just so uptight, right?
Yeah, there's not much.
What do you want from
opportunity
me?
here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
What do you want, man? You know?
Yeah. What? Just don't waste my time.
I know John
I'm busy.
Farnham, what?
Yeah, man.
I know Joel Turner.
Introduce you to my boy.
Shout outs to the modern day poets.
We have a question here from Mark. We
What up,
missed it
Mark?
earlier. Long time fan, especially love your version of Way That You Love Me. Which brings me to my question for you and all the DJs. What's the last track that made you stop and go, oh shit, that's dope?
Oh, you know what? You guys go first.
This happens to us quite often, like with these streams, when any of the DJs drop a track, it's like, that just takes us back, or just one we haven't heard, or a remix. That's
I
like
know one.
sick.
Yeah.
I can't
I got
name of
one.
I can't think of one, but
And shout out to DJ Paddy E if you're streaming. That
Yeah.
Kiana Lede song, Easy Breezy. Man, since you played that song, since when you done your set here, I haven't took it off repeat, man. It's still going to this day.
That
So-
means he's taxed it. Shout out to Paddy. He's tagged your song, man.
Thanks, Paddy. Thanks for
Put it in his
the.
playlist.
Yeah, that's it.
So what was
Sorry,
the song and title?
Easy Breezy by Kiana Lede.
Ah.
DA got that dope.
Yeah, nice, man.
Yeah, since he dropped that, I haven't taken that off repeat. So
Yeah.
that's one for me. That's the latest one.
What have you?
know.
DKutz, you're always cheering. You're like, ooh, like I always hear you.
I'm always cheering because, like, to be honest, it's not actually about the song title. It's about the feel. Like, the reason why I cheer is because, like, the way I do my sets is actually not about, like, that's why I don't remember songs, like, in terms of titles and artists. I just remember the moment and the feel of it. Like, when a song drops, I'm like, yeah, this is the right track for the right time and just the right tempo or whatever it is. That's when I get, like, you know, I get the feels, man. So, like, with me, like, DJing is more about the feeling, the emotion in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about, like, oh, yeah, I played this track and this track. Because people ask me, oh, what did you play? And I'm like, I can't remember, but, like, I'll go back in my history to have a look. But it's more about just the feel. Because the way I obviously, I select songs sometimes before I play. Like, I have a little bit of a sort of list. But I sort of go with what feels good, like, in terms of, like, what would go. And because my history in music and stuff it's quite broad. Like, I remember songs like by, in particular, like bass lines or things that sound like they're in the same sort of key, like kind of like what you were saying. Yeah. And then I know that it will go well and that sort of thing. So that's how I sort of go with music. It's not about, like, more about title. It's more just about how it sort of, like, in terms of music, how it works together, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's a bit difficult for me to explain, but if you're a musician,
I get you.
You get what I'm trying to
totally
say.
get you. Because he DKutz is a musician.
Yes.
He plays. He's
I
a
play drums. Yeah,
he's a player.
Yeah.
Beast too.
Actually brought his little keyboard.
Yeah.
Your
I got
Akai?
a little echo, man.
We're gonna do a Q Point jam session.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
live
clean.
production.
Live production.
Oh, why not, man? That's so cool.
Mine wasn't a song. Sorry, like a particular song. I saw something like a week ago that blew my freaking mind. So I'm just, in the YouTube rabbit hole, as we all do.
Yeah.
And I got, like, one of them suggested videos. I think it was America's Got Talent or something, one of those ones. And this 13-year-old girl came out and she performed Bohemian Rhapsody, but in this really broken down, beautiful arrangement. Her name is Angelina Jordan. You gotta look it up. She sang Bohemian Rhapsody, 13 years old, and her arrangement was crazy. Her delivery was insane. She just made the song her own. And then I found that because it was just like guitar and piano or something, like really broken down. And then I found, I did my little search and I found that she had recorded a studio version of that. And I straight away bought that on, Apple and whatever.
Yeah.
And that was probably the last thing that really blew my mind. And I listen to it every day on repeat. It's crazy. Like, her voice is insane. And she's 13 years old.
Wow,
13.
man.
Like, she's young. And she won Norway's Got Talent. And then she came to America to do her thing.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. Like, I remember hearing Lucky Days Project.
Yeah.
Lucky Days dope. And my friend Ajani put out a song not long ago. She was on my track Jumping Waves. And she put out a song called Potion, which is sick. I love that song. I always repeat that. So when she dropped it, I was like, damn, this is sick,
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool that, when your friends release music that you're like, wow, like, this is
Yeah.
crazy, So, and I had no involvement in that song, but it's like one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
So that, but also, you gotta check out that Angelina Jordan
That's
chick. She's
awesome, man.
crazy. She's crazy.
I'll have to check it out after.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, she's
That's
dope.
awesome.
I wanna work with her.
Link up. You got
Yeah,
Facebook
tried
now. IG.
Okay. Oh yeah, IG.
Yeah.
I hit her in the DMs.
Hey, I know Teddy Riley.
She's like, who? I'm 13.
True. I know DKutz and Dayday. What's the most unique place you've drawn inspiration from? Example, sounds of a rainforest, traffic, or like a nursery rhyme. Good question, Mark.
Yeah.
Like, what do you get inspo from?
Yeah.
You listen to old school, 60s.
No, it's weird. I don't want this to sound like, cliche or douchey or whatever, but like, I dream a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Like, I have dreams, and because like every time I close my eyes, whether it's for like a 15-minute nap or an 8-hour sleep, it's like I always have a dream. Like, my mind doesn't shut off. So a lot of the time, like, I'll wake up and I would have heard something in my dreams, like whether it's like a sound or something like that, or even if it's just like an environment in my dream. Like, I can't so much remember the visuals of it, but I can always remember the sound of it.
Wow.
And the colors. I can always remember the colors. But yeah, a lot of the time, like I'll wake up with like a chord progression. And I'm like,
Wow.
get up, go to the keyboard, don't forget it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so a lot of the time I just dream it, you know, which is weird, and I don't know where it comes from, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that falls into the inspiration category so much, but it's where the ideas come from a lot of the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time, you know. It might just be like a sound. Like I might wake up and be like, you know what, this sound is kind of cool. Like I gotta try to make this sound.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know how to explain it, but I know how to make it. So I'll sit on the keyboards and, you know, sound design. Like I'm big on sound design, so I like sit there and try and like figure out sounds. So yeah, sometimes it's just in my dreams.
Wow,
It's awesome.
Man. That's
weird.
So cool. That's different, man. I've never heard anyone say that sort of thing. It's
Now I
usually
feel like a
oh,
freak.
yeah, when I'm like sitting on the toilet or like walking in the park or like, you know, like just driving or something. That's a common one as well.
Driving, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you
Always
know,
when I'm driving.
people hear things, but yeah, man, that's pretty cool, man. You can, you know, interpret something like taken from a dream or some sort of vision or something you've just heard. You know, there's something that just sort of sticks in your mind and you just bring it out.
I like also like being in different environments. So like when I was in Miami for a week, it's a vibe that I've never experienced before.
Yeah.
I went there twice, and it definitely, the surroundings kind of inspire you.
Oh,
You know?
yes, they do.
Definitely.
Almost got stabbed.
As Dayday could tell you.
I was talking about the surroundings. Very inspiring.
Especially when you're in K-Town in LA and you don't drink.
Miami water, buffalo wings.
Yeah.
We were at Miami too for two
Yeah,
short
and then
the first trip.
I love Miami.
Almost got killed just for wanting to
Was
eat.
it Checkers?
Yeah, I went to Checkers across the road at like 3 a.m. and it was just a bunch of gangsters. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'm not that hungry.
You had food, right?
I'll just wait until 6 a.m. I'm cool.
It's always the quietest guy that gets himself into the worst situations, right?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, nah, I'll hold off.
Dayday's a man. You're the man.
Good times. Good times.
What's
Great
up,
time.
TJ? I'm just tripping. The homies have a homie that kicked it with Teddy Riley. That's pretty cool, man. From TJ.
The homie.
Shout
What
outs
up,
to
TJ?
Roman. How old's Roman? 2 weeks old? Little
Oh, little
Shout
Romeo.
outs, man.
Young Rome.
young Rome. So what is the lure of Sydney for you, or is it only for a season? Jess is asking. Why are you here?
Yeah, why?
Because I was born here and my family's here.
Like-
it's really that simple.
Yeah, you want to continue work, like, you know, hustling over there?
Well, 95% of what I do while I'm here is all US stuff anyway. You know, because everyone's kind of working from home and remotely right now because of what's going on. Especially, it's way worse in America, as
Oh,
we
yeah.
all know.
Yeah,
So, I mean, besides my own music, you know, I'm trying to like really start pushing with that, because I'm always playing like the producer or the songwriter for someone else and all that stuff. But yeah, I've done a few projects here, but it's most of my work is international work or with other international artists and all that stuff. I mean, the single that I played, Escape, that I want to drop hopefully in a month or so. That one is with a local artist, Nat Conway, and she's been my friend for. I mean, you've known her like as well. She's been around for a long time. She's from Sydney, but
She was on what show? Wasn't she on one of those?
she did a reality show, X Factor and all that. I think it was X Factor.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like ages ago. But she's like a really dope house artist. She has an alias Kimono, and she is really present in the house world as a feature artist, like on a lot of stuff. So she's got like a whole bunch of features. She's done amazing things, and dope performer, dope singer, dope human. But yeah, besides family being here, and you know, obviously at this time I'd rather be with my family in Sydney than stuck in LA and not able to come home. You know,
Yeah, that's right.
while no one's working there anyway outside of their home. You know,
Yeah, that's right.
so
Did you make it back here before the COVID? Like
yeah, I was here before.
You were here before that, eh?
Yeah, before.
what happened, so-
I was here at the end because I did a show at the end of last year.
Yep.
Like I kind of closed out the year at Rock Lily in
Oh, yeah.
Casino.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
nice.
did that video that you posted was
Yep.
at Rock Lily, and so I've been here for a while. Like it's been a while,
Yeah,
and
that's good.
and then this COVID thing happened. And
Yeah,
there was no point going back right now. You know,
yeah,
so
yeah, for sure.
so it's kind of like worked out in a way because
Oh, yeah.
I kind of used the time to just kind of switch my setup up and you know
Yeah.
upgrade the studio and
Yep.
use new software and like kind of learn some new stuff and
Yeah.
you know all that and work on my own music and find my sound a bit more and also work with local people, you know,
Yeah,
which
for
I
sure.
don't get the chance to do when I'm over there, obviously, you know.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
and there's a lot of sick talent here. You know, I was kind of like blind to the fact that Australian music, like the underground scene, the Western Sydney scene, all that, it's been like coming up
Yeah.
for a while, and I was totally oblivious to it.
Yeah.
You know, while I was over there,
Yeah.
I come back and there's all these people doing all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I swear?
No swearing,
Okay, no
please.
swearing.
We've been playing clean West Coast.
No,
true.
I have
Yes,
to
you can
say,
swear. You can swear if you need to.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, then shit then.
Well then,
Yeah.
going back to my point. Shit. No. What has been the biggest advantage that it's who you know, the fact you are Aussie or talent? Oh, so is it that
Say
you're
again?
Aussie or your talent that has been the biggest advantage for you? Like, is it exciting for people to be like, oh, he's my homeboy from Australia?
Nah. It's cool. It's exciting for girls that like the accent.
I can't believe they like it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah. No, same thing
Um,
in Philippines and stuff.
But there's certain like, yeah. I mean, yeah, when you
Well, like, oh my god, a green card.
Hey, yeah, guys.
How you going? Got a diary?
I feel like I become more Aussie when I'm there though.
Yeah.
But I do feel like my accent has warped a little bit over 10 years, just a
Mm.
little bit, just
Yeah.
certain words, you know, just because, you know, you're around Americans all the time.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I try to keep my accent. But in all honesty, being talented is great. Being Aussie, doesn't matter where in the world you're from.
Yep.
If you're cool, and if you're not, like if you're a good dude or chick, that's your biggest advantage.
Yeah.
Being talented and being cool. Because there's a lot of talented people that are complete
Dicks.
dicks.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
goes, dicks.
I get it, because there are talented guys,
Yeah.
people out there. Toilet break for Dayday. Too much soju.
Too much soju.
There are a lot of talented people out there, but, you know, and I believe that they can get far. But
Yeah.
I believe sometimes they have the wrong attitude about themselves and what they're doing,
Yeah, that's true, man.
which is
Yeah.
kind of what I feel is limiting them from getting to where they can be.
Yep.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So, like, when you're working with other people, you got to vibe with them as well. Make sure
Yeah.
you're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, of course. I always just tell myself, just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it's really that simple, eh?
Yeah.
Like it's not even. I don't. Who asked that question? Was that Jess?
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
Sorry, Jess. I don't have
Yep.
like a deeper answer for you for that. It's just be cool, man. Just got to be
Be
cool.
cool.
Being talented is great, but you know, if you're the most talented person in the world and you know you're a complete dick, like
Yeah.
that doesn't matter. It just cancels it out.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Just be cool.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Be
No, I
cool
agree.
and make the
It's-
effort.
It's just a disadvantage, eh? I mean, like, no one wants to work with someone that's not approachable or not.
Yeah, for sure.
Doesn't have the right attitude, you know. Like,
Of course.
I mean, I've noticed that, like, with like the big names, like the you know the names you hear, you know, like for example, like Teddy, like again, and things like that. You'll find that when you actually get to know them, like they actually, you can speak to them on that wavelength. They don't think that they're, you know, all that and
Yeah.
things like that. Like that's sort
They
of
don't
stuff.
care about
Yeah.
the fame
They don't.
or any of that. Like
Yeah.
that's not why they do this or what
Yeah.
matters. Like the real ones, you know.
Yeah,
They really don't care about that. They're in it for the love of what they do, the music. Like Teddy cares about music so much, you know.
Yep.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know, everything else is just like, it's just accolades that come with it. It's the
Yeah.
attention that comes with it.
Yep.
You know, the fanfare, all that stuff. It's just what comes with it. But the center point and the main drive for everything is always just the love of music and all that.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a good dude. Like there's a lot of people that are like that are connected as hell. Like they got everybody in their phone book.
Yep.
All that stuff, and it's just that doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Yep.
You know, it's about being great at what you do, but also being a cool person. Just
Yep.
because no one wants to work with a dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true, man.
It's that simple.
That's true.
I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if you're like the coolest dude, but your
Which
talent
you,
is
which you
like-
are.
Thank you. But like, I mean, but like, say there's a really cool dude like me, and then say your talent's like, you know, 70, 80%. I'd still work with them.
Yeah.
And help bring them up as well
Yeah, of course.
to the best they can be, like their
Yeah.
potential.
I feel like it's important to work with people that are gonna better you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because you could be the best at something, but there's somebody that you're gonna be in a room with that's the best at something else.
Yep.
That you
Mhm.
can learn from. Like I mean, look, you guys are the best, all of you. But just because he's my hero.
Always got to preface that.
Nah, bro.
I just haven't seen you guys in action as much, you know, because he was
No.
always at my gigs, you know.
Yeah.
No, you guys are all incredible, but you know, I mean, like just watching DKutz tonight, like being in a room with you, it's like, yeah, I might be good at this talkbox thing and whatever, and my blends are good, you know,
Yeah.
but as a the craft of what you do, like the skill of how you do it. It's like I was like sitting there watching you, like, damn, like I need some lessons. Like I need to learn some stuff. I mean, look, I'm not like a big scratch guy at all. I mean, I didn't do it all, but you know, there's an art to it, and there's definitely like an appreciation I have for it. That you can watch, and it's musical. Like it's smart the way you do it. It's not like, you know, you're forcing it. There's a technique and a method to it, and it's really calculated, you know, and that's right. Kind of what I watched for, and I'm like, man, like you know, you could always learn something from being in the room with someone that has something to offer.
Yeah, and that's what I love. Like, that's what I love about the Q Point. Like, we're here to not just like show off our talents, or just, you know, just show what we can do. We're here to showcase what other people can bring into it as well, because obviously, like, you're a unique artist, and you know the way that you you know, the way that you do your shows, your sets are so different from, you know, from what other DJs do. Like, for example, they don't, you know, a lot of DJs don't play on this talk boxing, and you know what I mean, and come at it that way. So that's why the whole purpose of this is to bring people that are good at what they do, bring them all together, find that commonality, and then sort of learn from each other, man. Because that's what it's all about. Like, I believe that this community here of the Q Point is all about building people up. It's not about like trying to say that, oh, you're not good at this, you're not good at that. It's more like, okay, let's try to find that similar wavelength. Let's try to like build each other up. Let's try to, like, you know, like, and it's not about making it. Like, it's not about making it, I should say. You know, it's all about just building each other up to the point where, like, you know, we have our own talents and skills, and you know, this is what we enjoy doing. So we just want to do it for ourselves. Like, it's more of a personal sort of goal and level, you know. And then wherever that takes us, you know, if it leads us to, you know, something bigger in the future, you know, we're happy with it. And if it doesn't, like, if we still end up being in the bedroom, we're still cool with it, because we've accomplished something for ourselves, for sure. You know.
I mean, success is different to everybody, you know. Like, you guys are all successful to me, you know.
Well, thanks, man.
But you are. And you are in many ways, you know. But a lot of people, you know, view success as a numbers game and all that kind of stuff. Like, I look at myself like, I'm building, I'm trying to, you know, get more people engaged, and, you know, have more people following me on the socials and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's just never-ending game, you know. But in my eyes, I feel successful because it's what I've been doing for 10 years, you know. And nothing else. Like, I'm a full-time, you know, musician, basically. And that is already a success. And now it's like finding the next level to it, and the next level to it, and next level. Like, it's like climbing that success ladder and all that. And it just comes down to learning and like being inquisitive enough to, you know, be a sponge and taking all the new information and all the people that you work with, like what they can offer you and all that stuff, and just soak it in and study it and be better. You know, and that's what all the greats will tell you, that you know, study the greats. You know, you just got to keep studying it, and you know, you could be the best DJ in the world, but like, I mean, we supported. I don't know if you were there. No, you weren't there. We did the DJ Jazzy Jeff support.
Oh, sick.
Me and my boy Mo Funk. You should have him here. Actually, he's dope. So he got me to come with him, and we did two times. And watching Jeff,
wow, man.
He's the best to me. He's the best. He's the humblest, nicest dude. But he's the best, you know. And studying people like that, you know, I'm not trying to be Jeff, and not even gonna try to attempt to. But yeah, like being around that, it definitely like gives you this hunger and this drive. Like, damn, I got work to do, you know. And go back to the studio and work, you know.
And what I love about Jeff is that, because obviously I don't know him personally, but what I love about Jeff, because I follow him on the socials and things like that, is that he's kind of like doing what we're kind of doing, like bringing people together, building people up, and, you know, sharing it for the next generation. Like, in terms of, you know, not just DJing, you know, anything to do with music or art, you know, in terms of, you know, music, that sort of stuff. So, that's his passion, you know, to see the younger generation, you know, continue on what we've sort of, you know, placed, you know, at this present time, you know, just to continue what we're doing, and actually to become better than us. Like, you know, that's what we want. We want people to become better than us.
Of course.
Like, we don't want to have the attitude like, oh, I don't want anyone to be better than me, because that's just the stupid attitude. You know, that's.
I mean, the way you guys embrace me being here, like, that just shows. You know, it just shows your kind of outlook on what this is, and you know, what you're trying to create over, or we have created over here. You know, it's so welcoming, and so it's just fun. It's fun to be here, and it's so just do you, you know. You
that's
guys,
it.
you're just letting me do me, you know. And
Yep.
any way I wanted to do it, you know. I was like, hey, I'm gonna bring my own stuff and throw all your stuff out the window, can we? You know? And you're like, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
That to me is, you know, you guys embracing
Yeah,
me
that's
and
cool, man.
you know everyone else that comes through here. So
Yeah. Well,
I
that's what
appreciate
we're
that.
about. Yeah. Thank you, man.
For sure, man.
No, we appreciate you coming through too. Like at the Q point, like
Well.
we're always saying, you know, we're not the best DJs, but we're trying to build a community
Yep.
of DJs together for all of them to be the best DJs they can be.
Yep.
You know, like
yeah,
there's no benchmark. Just for you personally, as a person, as long as you're doing the best that you can do and perform the best to your ability, at least you're still growing. you
yeah.
know?
This is
So
like
it's all
a training
growth.
ground in
Yeah.
a way, you know.
Yep.
Because a lot of the times I got to do, you know, my shows or gigs or whatever that, you know, I have to stick to a strict kind of
Yeah.
guideline
Yeah.
of what I
Yeah.
should be playing and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I don't have TalkBox with me all the time.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like, let me try something new. Let me
Yeah.
try, you know, this and that and little effects and, you know, all this kind of stuff that I wouldn't normally use. So
Yep.
it's definitely a platform that you guys have given me and so many other people
That's cool.
to be able to be better at what I do, you know, under the pressure of the cameras and the lights, you know.
Cameras
But-
and the 5,000 viewers.
Yeah, all 5,000 new. 5,003. Damn,
Oh, well, it's just gone up.
it's gone up.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's
man.
awesome, man.
So thank
Great
you
to hear.
for having me, for real.
Yeah,
This is
no,
this is
no.
dope.
Yeah, it's
Thanks,
good to
man.
catch
Thanks
up.
for the insight, man. Because like we just realized, man, how humble you are, man, and like in terms of like.
You
where
just
you've
realized
been.
that he said? Damn,
we
what
were
was I
stuck up.
before? No, I'm playing.
So stuck up
I'm so
before.
Yeah, we just realized that you're actually an alright guy.
You're alright.
Oh, I'm not sure about this guy.
You know what?
Even
I
though
I don't
you've been
know.
giving shout-outs.
I honestly don't remember what I was like that day in LA, but you know, I apologize if I was anything
No,
but
no,
cool.
Nah, you're a cool dude, man. You're
As are you guys, man. Like all of
yeah,
you.
nah, it's good, man. It's good to have you, man. Honestly.
We have a
It's
question.
been a long time coming.
Oh, definitely. Jess is asking VoiceBox, TalkBox, talk. Do you have to be able to sing or can you just talk?
So you don't actually use your voice at all.
Can we
But-
hear Dayday say, I love the Q point more than Soju on it?
More than soju?
Jess, I don't think we could do that. It's a bit of a hygiene.
It's a bit of a COVID
Yeah, so the-
situation.
There's no non-weird way of saying this, but the tube has to go in your mouth.
Like how
and-
far?
So you
Down the throat where you can taste the COVID.
I'm not doing this.
Is it like,
How far?
and how do you hold it with your back teeth?
I'm not answering these questions.
They're feeling a bit uncomfortable. Okay, real talk.
No, real talk.
Yeah, like, doesn't
so-
it just fall out?
No, because he always
Should we
puts it on
change-
the side. I've realized it's like kind of on the
Yeah,
side.
Yeah,
So
so
if
I hold it on the right side, and between my teeth at the back.
Yeah, so that's
So
what's
the
gripping it.
the trick is to kind of have it so it's not obstructing the way your mouth moves at all. So you're still able to open and close your mouth as normal.
Are you chewing on it?
I mean, sometimes like it looks like I'm chewing on it, but I'm just kind of like it's this weird thing because you know it's rubber at the end of the day, the tube. So the tube can like shut close and get thinner and thinner, and that obstructs
Ah,
the sound. So
yes.
yeah,
just while it's in there, I'll like use my teeth and tongue or whatever and flip it around so it opens up the hole. It's really weird.
Dang.
Yeah.
Man,
it's
that's a
strange.
skill, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's there's a lot of talk boxes out there that grip it at the front of their teeth and stuff like that, and that doesn't work at all. Like it just because you got to be you don't want to sing like that's because that's what it's gonna sound like when you sing. You know?
Like an,
50
what's it called?
Cent.
What's the, oh yeah, 50 Cent
Yeah.
or the puppet
Muppets.
people?
Oh, the
Ventriloquist.
Oh, the ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Said the Muppets.
Can you give us a demo if we chuck the camera on again?
Yeah.
Just a talking. Wait, let me.
Imagine a ventriloquist talk box guy.
You'll be
Wow, that'd
clicking
be
out.
crazy.
Wait, I'll just chuck
The
the camera on.
the ventriloquist box.
Ventriloquist.
I'll chuck the other camera
Oh
on.
yeah, for sure. Man.
Just for Jess.
Yeah,
It's
just for
actually
Jess.
cool because people don't actually
Shout
know.
out to Jess for all these questions, man.
Yeah, Jess is our all-time
For the only questions.
favorite listener.
Jess is the one that's going to keep us here till
Yeah, pretty much.
3 a.m.
Hey, I got nothing, nowhere else to be.
Hey.
So Jess is a wedding MC, in case you didn't know.
MC Jess. Fire Jess.
Yeah, man.
Actually, just have you seen Sergio perform at a wedding before?
Yeah, man, he's good at what he does.
Okay, that's nice. He gets paid big money. Yeah, here we go. All right.
Okay, so how to
So this is an instructional.
This is instructional.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Like how I was asking you earlier, like how the
Yeah.
heck does it work? Like I know there's a tube of some sort.
Oh, there we go. This is the tube.
that's the box. That's the talk box. That's just basically a speaker in a box. That's all it is.
It's a speaker.
Oh, it's a
Yep.
speaker.
Shout out to Talkstar. My boy Fingers built this thing. He's a
nice.
beast. TheTalkstar.com.
Oh, nice, man.
It's a speaker
It's a speaker.
with air.
It's a compression driver.
Okay, because speakers
Like a
are
horn.
moving.
Like a horn
Like a
compression
horn. Yeah,
driver,
yeah,
you know?
For sure.
And it's just really powerful, really clean.
Yep.
Goes through the tube.
Yep.
The sound comes from the keyboard that I'm using, or your guitar, or whatever you want to use, your app.
Yeah,
you know? And then basically
You put it in your mouth
Wow, man.
Clip that.
pause.
and then you sing and you play the notes.
Sorry, my hand. It's just natural, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Natural. to perform.
Okay, can we hear that without the tube? Like how you would have said it. Is it different?
It's
Sorry, did we put you on the
no,
spot here?
It's no. It's totally. It's no. It's fine. Well, what do you want me to say? What did I say?
Like-
I just.
Because you were saying it's the movements of the mouth and the pronunciation.
It's
You got to accentuate everything?
a little bit like your S's, T's, H's, stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know,
Yeah.
like so. Cuts,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
D
yeah.
cuts,
So then
DKutz.
yeah.
cuts.
That is cool, man.
You know?
Gotta get you to do
So
a
don't actually
job.
use your voice, but to answer a question
Yeah.
about singing,
Yep.
it definitely helps to be able to understand singing and know singing and all that.
Yep.
I do use my throat a little bit to clean up my vibratos, and even though it's like a modulation thing,
Yeah, yeah.
I do use like because I can sing a little bit, so
Yeah,
I kind of use that from down here, like
Yeah.
to push like to kind of mold the notes
Yeah, yeah.
while they're in there.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, it's sound coming in, and then you're pushing it back out through the mic as like a normal,
Yep.
like a normal vocal, you know.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's
I'm still confused.
it doesn't really affect it much, but if you understand singing, it's like your melodies, your choices, your delivery is gonna sound more human, if that makes sense. That's what I try to do. I don't want to just be a guy that just plays the talk box as a novelty, as like just a background vocal or anything like that. But the reason I I can deliver a full song on it is because I've figured out a way to make it sound kind of like with feel, if
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
sense. Like there's
Yeah,
feel in it,
rather
and
than being robotic or something.
yeah, like super robotic, which is nothing wrong with that, you know.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's
yep.
it calls for that at times, but it's just my approach to it is trying to make it sound like as human as possible. So if you listen to a whole album of just this, you
Yep.
kind of forget 3 songs in that it's a talk box and it's just a voice,
Yeah,
you know.
voice. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
so-
you found your way to make it unique.
Yeah,
in the
for
way
sure.
You present like
Yeah.
singing it in
And it's also the style of music that
Yep.
you choose to record over or sing over and all that. It's like, you know, a lot of people can do that electro funk, you know, the guitars, all that. Like
Yep.
that's, or even that West Coast G-funk stuff. But
Yeah, that
putting
works.
this on records that you wouldn't normally hear it on
Yeah.
is what kind of makes it special in a way. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, oh damn, like you never hear talk box on this kind of record.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. That's
So-
what makes it good. Yeah.
I don't know if that answers the question at all.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah,
that's-
I think we're just fascinated at how it works. And then you've got
Yeah.
this little machine from Roland as
Yes,
well.
that's a
which would-
VT4. It's a vocal effects unit, the voice transformer, and it does a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Can't see it in the shot.
If you
Yeah.
So this is the T-Pain?
that's the T-Pain.
Oh, is that the T-Pain? Like the,
Yeah.
the actual.
Is that what he
Chopped
uses?
and screwed. No, this isn't what you use. That's auto-tune.
Yeah.
But it's got auto-tune built into it. It's got format and all that. So I can sound.
Wow.
Oh, serious?
That's what Richard Mercer uses.
Yeah, bro. He just has one of those little boxes.
Shout out to Richie.
Yeah.
Good old Richie.
It's got harmony.
Yeah,
It's got
Richard
effects.
Mercer.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
some dedications, man.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Yeah,
Richard.
that's my little simple setup, you know.
Yeah.
And then I switch up keyboards all the time. So
Yep.
For different sounds?
different textures, sounds, all that. So I've got like, I've pretty much got a talkbox sound on all the keyboards I use, but I pretty much only use 3 of them.
So you can plug any keyboard with that.
Or any
top
guitar,
box.
anything that has like, you know, because it's just the input,
Yeah,
like
it's just
a
an input, right?
like a line input, you know.
Wow.
So you can plug anything into it. You can play talkbox with a bass. You know, you can. I see
Wow.
people using it with like, with a violin with a tube. You know, like
What?
yeah, you can do anything. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. What a skill, man.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. I don't know. People like it, so
Yeah.
I do it.
Yeah,
I like it, so I do it.
Yeah, definitely, man.
that's awesome. So what made you get into?
Should I come back there so you guys are all on the view?
Nah, we're gonna make you sing another hour set.
I'm gonna go ahead and not listen to you.
Have a seat.
I like it here.
How did you start with talk boxing? Like
It was
the very start.
the G-funk music, eh?
Yeah.
That's it.
Good
Yeah, that was the
California love,
inspiration.
bro.
it was all in there, and I was like, I want to be able to do that sound. That's
Yeah.
sick. Gangsters, clap your hands.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's so
Shout out to Bosco.
Yeah. So who's the original, like, in terms of the talk box, like, who was the actual West Coast guy, the go-to guy, that was well known for the talk box?
It was probably Roger Troutman.
Yeah.
But he comes from like the 70s and 80s funk
Is that
era,
the
like
Zapp and
Zapp and
Rogers?
Roger, yeah.
Yep, yep.
But in terms of like strictly West Coast stuff, like
Yeah.
I mean, there was people like Teddy and whatever that did it, but the West Coast stuff, because Teddy was from Virginia, but on the West Coast it was DJ Quick did it.
Yeah.
Love DJ Quick.
Yeah, Quick as a coat. Fingers, who built this talk star that I use. He was one of my inspirations, and Bosco. And Bosco's got a cool one called Electro Spit that I'm gonna mess with soon, which is a tubeless talk box that sits around your neck. It's crazy, I was supposed to get it today. They lied to me, the post people.
Arriving
I was
today.
gonna bring it,
It's
but
gonna be there first thing tomorrow.
yeah, it's
knowing
gonna be
us.
there in the morning.
no way.
I'm gonna have to come back next week.
Yeah.
Yes,
Come back
just-
tomorrow.
Come
Just
back
to show you. I'll come back tomorrow. Cool.
Yeah, just leave this here.
Yeah. Come pack it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's Bosco, Fingers, DJ Pooh,
Yep.
Oh,
all these
who's
Daz.
DJ Pooh roll with?
He was like
Was he named Friday?
he wasn't Friday.
The guy that got back.
His grandmama gave him that chain,
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Locking essentials. Yeah, that's it. You know that sound, Mark. Oh man.
Nice, man.
Yeah, all those West Coast cats. There was so much talk box on all those records, and I just wanted to be like them.
Yeah.
So I bought a talk box, and I was trash at it for a very long time.
So, like, how long did it take you to get to, well, not to where you are, but at least to get it to sound decent?
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Is it like a formula? Like
yeah, there's like so many
Yeah.
moving parts to it that you don't realize. Like, because I mean, this is the one that I'm using now is the best of the best. Like, you're not gonna get any better tube-based talk boxes, and but that's like new technology, and
Yeah.
the speaker is insane. But the ones that I used to get or used to use, they didn't have amplifiers built into them like this does. So I'd have to have a separate amp, and I use like a bass head amp, for example, and that blew 10 of them, and I
Yeah.
didn't know why it kept blowing, and I
Yeah.
realized it was the amp was pushing too much power through. So
Yeah.
that was one mistake. And then also the EQ settings on the amp,
Oh, yeah.
it changes your tone and your texture, everything. And then the sound that you're using on your keyboard, it makes a big difference in the tone. So I had to, I'm always just trying to shape my tone until it sounded right. And then the way you record it, the effects that you're using, the mic that you use,
Yeah.
every little piece of the chain
Jeez.
makes a big difference in
Yeah,
the overall outcome. And it's finding the most simple setup at the end.
Yep.
That works for you and
Yep.
that gets your tone right. Like that's what the whole chase is about,
Yeah. And
So-
so how, like with Talkstar, before Talkstar, was there anything else similar to the product?
Yeah, so
or-
there's
Yeah.
till this day there's a bunch of different talk boxes on the market,
Yeah, yeah.
but none of them are just as powerful, as
the
as
Talkstar.
clean, as warm,
Yeah.
as as easy to take to gigs and carry around.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't look as cool,
Yeah, this looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool
Yeah,
with the
man.
lights.
yeah.
It's like a clear case on your 5110.
Yeah,
But no, just with the lights and everything.
yeah. Fingers killed
like
this.
it. Yeah.
He killed this. He did I love Cali in the summertime.
Oh, is that right? Eh?
That's him.
Oh,
He's a West Coast legend. Like he's one of the him and Bosco. They're like my inspiration,
Yeah.
my elders.
Yeah, for sure.
So I learned a lot from these guys and Teddy and Quick.
Yep.
Yeah, all those guys.
That's sick.
They're the West
Nice,
Coast
man.
guys.
That's awesome.
West Coast.
West Coast and Nostra.
Shout out to the West Coast.
Yes, sir.
So your friend that made the box, Did he make it because the other boxes were terrible?
Yep.
Straight up, right? But they're musos, right? So they
Yeah,
know what they're
they're
after.
incredible producers and keyboard players, musicians, guitarists, whatever, all that stuff.
So they know like what
They
sound
know,
they're
yeah,
after.
they know. And there was a big gap in the market, for talk boxes, and there's a big community out there. That's what people don't realize. Like, there's a huge talk box community, and if you have the best product, everyone's gonna buy your product. It's that simple. Like, and all the other ones, honestly, even the one I used for a long time, I used the heel. Like, I got results out of that, but only after putting in so much, time and
into
money and whatever, trying to trying different amplifiers and this and that. And I went through, I think, 12 or 14 of them or something, all blown.
Jeez.
They'd blow halfway through a show.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Or even before, like, I'm about to jump on and do a set, and I'm like, there's no sound. Like, that's happened. Everything's happened. So this is kind of like the unblowable beast, It's like you can throw it on a plane and it might still probably survive.
Yeah. It's like heavy duty. It's
So-
built for it.
Yeah, like, so he basically addressed every issue any serious talk boxer would have, which is they're all trash and we need a good one. And then Bosco, my boy Bosco, he just went a whole nother route with it and created this thing called the Electro Spit that you guys should look up. And it's a tubeless talk box. So it's like a neck wearable thing, and that's the next thing I'm gonna mess with. I was messing with the prototypes of it in LA when he was first, getting it out to people and like trial error, all that stuff. So I messed with that and did like a whole session with him where I was messing with the early prototype, and now he's got like the final design. It's out, people are buying it, so it's great. And that's like a whole new technology, and it's pushing the whole talkbox, game and that world to a whole new level. So he's a genius with that. Like, there's always something to discover. That's what I learned from that. There's always something, like, because a talkbox is a simple concept. Put a speaker in a box and stick a tube in it. Stevie Wonder was doing it back in the day. Peter Frampton did it with the guitar, and a lot of people have done it. Bon Jovi, all those guys.
Really?
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, is that talk box?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. The talk box
Alright.
history is deep, man.
Yeah, man. Living
Wow.
on a prayer, bro.
But
that's right.
in saying all that, like, I always want to make sure that talkbox is just one of the things that I do. I don't want it to be the thing that I
The
do.
thing,
You know? That's why I'm putting out songs with very little talkbox, if any, on them right now. Just because there's a time and a place. Like, just because I play talkbox, it doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be on every record. Like, not everything calls for talkbox, and I feel like I don't want to be that guy that just does it all the time, just because that's just not tasteful.
Yeah, I understand, man. Like, you gotta know when to use it and when not to use it, right? In
For sure.
Songs. Yeah.
For sure.
That's true, man. Speaking of like Talkbox, man, how many like Talkbox users are there? Like, is it a big community?
Yeah, there's a
That's
community.
one thing I've always like.
There definitely is. It's
big.
a worldwide community.
It is,
Like,
eh?
it really is. It's there's a lot of people in Japan that love it. Japan, Korea, let's just say the Asians, like you guys,
Yeah.
He's always had that joke.
Hey, how about
I don't have that joke.
talk box karaoke?
Wow,
Yeah, man.
that would be a train wreck.
You reckon?
not in the Philippines.
I'm here for it.
Not in the Philippines.
Yeah, it is a big community though.
It's huge, eh?
The Asian community is huge. There's a lot of people in Germany and Denmark, and because just being one of the people now that, like, I recognize that I'm good at it, like, without blowing smoke up my own ass. Like, I know that I'm good at it. That's why I do it. So I get like a lot of love from all these places, and people cover my songs on Talkbox
Wow,
with a
yeah.
Talkbox.
With the Talkbox,
You know?
yeah.
I've
Which is
seen that.
crazy. Yeah, like, people
I
do
saw
it.
you post it.
People do it all the time, and it's really sick to see that.
Yeah.
Like, and it just kind of shows you how big the community is. Like, people that don't know how to speak English, they're doing it. They're doing it in their language, or they're like, mimicking what I'm doing and all that. So it's really sick to see like how big it has actually grown. And obviously with the Bruno Mars records that have Talkbox on it, he opens his show with a whole Talkbox thing. Like, that really kind of brought it to the spotlight. Again, Daft Punk. Let's not forget, those legends.
Exactly.
Like, there's so many people outside of the funk R&B world and all that, or whatever you want to call it, like those genres that do it. Like, house music has it. The dance music that Daft Punk was doing, always like that electro stuff that they would, like, they always have vocoders and Talkbox, and they're two different instruments, but it's very present and it's always been present. You know, it's just really like it's so in the spotlight now in a way. You know, it's.
So the talk box will never die, man. It seems like it, man. There's always some sort of element in a song that is needed, I guess.
Yeah, there's if the song calls for it.
Yeah,
if it calls for it, then for sure it's gonna be there. It should be there.
Wow,
You know,
man.
because it's really cool. Like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't ever sit here and talk about talkbox. You know, so I kind of like forget that it is a cool instrument.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just like I said, one of the things that I do occasionally.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, when I started doing my videos, my version videos and all that kind of stuff on for YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff, like it's always led by talkbox vocals.
Yeah.
So it's always me on talkbox, and doing that was cool because it gave me a chance to try all these different songs and genres and stuff that wouldn't normally be on talkbox and see how human I can make it feel.
Yeah.
And really experiment with it. So yeah, I don't feel like it's ever gonna die. It's just I feel like the use of it will differ from generation to generation and genre to genre. You know, people will use it in different ways.
With new products, like
new products,
making like that's.
Yeah, I mean, you can play that with the app.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, even that.
The app does harmonies and stuff. It's crazy.
Jeez, harmonies. Yeah.
I'm bringing that tomorrow.
Yeah. I remember that video we shot. Say You'll Be There?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Spice Girls?
Spice Girl. We covered a Spice Girl. Me and my band, we covered a Spice Girl song.
Man,
It was cool.
crazy.
It was all talkbox.
And I made that difficult for you to edit.
It was good. we got through it.
Yeah. Yeah, check it out is it on YouTube?
I think it's still there. Maybe. Try your luck.
Yeah.
Might be there. I put out an album called Version, but that's under Sergio Selim.
That's on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Spotty, it is.
Yeah, because Dayday has a track on there that he jizzes over. Is it on there? Or is it the HER one?
It's the whole album, man.
Oh, the whole album.
Oh my
Who
god,
cares?
But,
that is the man.
If you look under the table, there's a mop, there's a towel.
That's why I had to go toilet earlier.
Went toilet for a change. Oh, man.
I'm Dayday's biggest fan though.
Yeah, man.
What's it called? The Escapade.
Oh, it's
That
great.
was-
Yeah.
I really like that.
Oh man, you know what? It was so dope to be able to play that for Jam and Lewis
Yeah.
when I met them.
Oh.
You know, I was like, hey, before I get out of here, I gotta show you guys something that I did because they did Escapade, and they were like, this is sick. This is really cool, man. Make sure you send that to us. I'm like, yes, sir. It's in your inbox already.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, I
man.
appreciate it, and I love it. I think Escapade is probably my favorite on that album.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
Nice.
definitely like the funk spin you put on it. Like, it really revitalized the classic. You know.
Put that in your sets, bro. It just never makes sense though. It's just like it is never a good time to play it.
Yeah.
I just love listening to it, even in the car. Just,
Yeah.
man.
just
Oh,
the
you
feels
guys.
that it brings.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah,
it's all
guys,
love.
make sure you check him out. Sergio Selim
Yeah, for sure.
version.
Yeah,
Spotify? Like, how would
yeah,
you search it?
Spotify. Yeah, because I did like a rebrand and shortened my name and added an I. So now I just go by Sergio with 2 I's, not I am Sergio, the world's tallest DJ.
Sorry.
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
I just wanted to make sure I plug you, man. I am Sergio.
No, it's actually good because that's what my handles are. So all my social media handles are I am Sergio,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, man.
all the videos are up there, all the content, the music, everything that I'm pushing, and when I'm here, I'm gonna be posting that.
Yeah.
Sergio.
So what's out now? What do you want us to check out? Like your tracks?
Yeah, so there's a few tracks that we put out this year. There's a song called Magnetic that's out circulating right now. I did with this guy Full Crate, one of my friends in Amsterdam, and a singer from Houston, Texas called Susan Carroll. So we got that, like our collab. So that's out floating around. But my song Jumpin' Waves that I played in my set with my girl Ajani. And she's dope. She sings, she's got her own project out. She put out a single not long ago, and she also is a supporting vocalist for her.
Nice.
HER, her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they. So yeah, she's on my record, so we put that out a few months ago, and I'm still pushing that. And also the song that I premiered on the Q Point.
Yes, you heard it here first.
It's called Escape with Kimono. I want to put that out soon, real soon, and then just try and go hit the ground running with that and just keep going, putting out singles, more content, more videos. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Awesome. So where can we check out your music? Is it on Spotify?
it's on
or
Spotify.
Do you get paid with that, or
Yeah.
you do?
I
Alright.
mean, yeah, if you get me to like 6 billion streams, I might get $40. So
Yeah.
Hit me now.
Shout out to Spotify.
Shout out to Spotify.
Is there iTunes Music like people
Everywhere.
can purchase?
Everywhere. So Sergio with 2 eyes. I'm everywhere.
Yeah,
I will
nice,
be
man.
on your streaming platform if you look for me.
Yeah, everywhere.
I'm somewhere there, and I am Sergio on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff. All my videos and content is there. Is your printer printing something right now?
No, it's got to do its periodic cleaning, so it doesn't.
Right.
You know, it's an expensive machine. So
I feel like it's gonna eat Dayday if he's not careful.
yeah, no, it's got to clean, so it keeps the.
Yeah.
Shout out
lines
to
clean.
Roland for the big ass printer back
Yeah,
there.
shout outs to Roland. Well, I've got the Roland artist,
Yeah.
Roland ambassador here.
Yeah,
Shout out
man.
to the printer, the Roland printer.
The
the
printer is the real MVP.
Yeah. Well, where else can they catch you? You've already plugged everything.
Yeah.
I am Sergio.
Yeah, I don't like plugging myself though. It's weird. That
No.
sounds weird. But
Okay,
you know
we'll
what I'm
do
saying?
that for you.
Sounds weird.
Don't plug yourself.
There's been a lot of super pauses in this conversation.
That's how we roll.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm down. Well,
I did all the plugging.
yeah.
Plug yourselves. Plug the Q point.
Yeah. Well, everyone's there, so
Hold up. Okay, so, DKutz was killing it tonight. With
Yes.
a lot, just warming up and cooling down. And it wasn't either of those because he was just on fire the whole time. I was.
on fire that he had to jump on.
Yeah,
Sergio's
then
like,
I had
I'm
to jump-
done.
I was like,
Actually, I need to jump on.
I don't want to follow him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how do we follow DJ DKutz? Tell him, son.
At DJ DKutz. Or on Facebook, DKutz, DJ DKutz official, I think it is. Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't
he has an
remember.
unofficial one. Did you know?
Yeah.
You got
only
an
because
official?
someone tried to text my name.
Oh, damn.
So I had to make an official one. Yeah. So the real official is standing right here. I'm sitting right here actually.
You tell him. Tell him, son.
Yeah. But yeah, you can check me out. Or Dayday, where you at? Like, what's your links, man?
I'm confused, Day. You need to.
Yeah, sorry.
Every
I've
second
got-
week, it's a different one.
Yeah. You know what? Let's stick with Dayday the DJ on
Okay.
Insta.
Dayday the
Dayday
DJ.
the DJ.
What did I tag? I tagged him earlier before I came here.
Oh,
Did you see that? No.
No, that
'Cause
was someone else.
It was Dayday _ or something.
oh yeah, that's
That's his personal
that's
account
yeah
for his other girls.
for the for my personal contacts, which is yourself.
At the Q point.
At the Q point is where it's at. Make sure you follow on Twitch
Yeah.
because we have a lot of shows. We've actually got some exciting
Exciting feedback.
static.
Static.
I don't know where that's coming
The
from,
phone
but
lines are blowing up, guys. Yeah. Thanks for all your
yeah,
calls. and
we're,
stuff.
we're breaking the Twitch. But
We're breaking the Twitch.
yeah,
It's
no,
kind of like, when the phones back in the day.
with the phone.
56k,
Yeah.
56k magic.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to all our new viewers and our regulars
Yeah,
at the
for sure.
at the Q point. We've actually got some exciting news. For the first time, we will be featuring an international special guest DJ next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Really?
He goes by the name of DJ Ryan Live.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He is. I just blanked out.
Very good.
Let me cut in here. No, I don't know.
No, but Ryan Live. He's on Twitch as well. We've been following him.
Yep.
He streams a couple of times a week. He has a few shows. He's also actually Joe Coy's official tour DJ.
Yep.
So it's going to be awesome to have him on here at the Q point.
Yep.
We'll be crossing live to him. We have DJ Cebu coming on soon,
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
live from
Shout
Melbourne.
out to DJ Cebu.
Shout out to DJ Cebu. Thanks for hosting us tonight.
Yep.
On his
What
channel.
up, Cebu? Long time, bro.
We have our first female special guest DJ.
DJ DKutz.
Oh, damn.
We
Damn.
have Melissa Grace
Yeah.
coming on next week as well. So
Oh, okay.
we've got a lot going on coming up. So make sure you follow.
Stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, we've got a lot of mixes.
Hey, I
music
want to
coming
I want
your
to
way.
challenge my boy DJ Mofunk to come here and
Yeah.
do what he
Hey.
does. That's my brother.
Yeah.
He's like a big Ibiza DJ and all that stuff, and I want to challenge his ass to come. His music taste is exactly the same as all of ours. Like he
Nice.
grew up on that G Funk and Dog Pound and West
Oh,
Coast
man.
and all that. So I
Get
want
in
to.
contact, man.
I don't know
Yeah, bro.
if he's probably not in here, but I'm gonna send this to him and live challenge. I'm challenging you on the air. I just
cool,
I'm
man.
kind of using it as an excuse to hang though.
Yeah, no. Reach
4
out
meter
to
square,
him. Tell him
4
to
square
come
meter.
through, man.
Yeah, 100%.
You're welcome. Like honestly, this is the key point. Like, it's a DJ community.
This is our community.
This
man,
is-
yeah.
this
We're
is
not
it.
kicking out people. Everyone's welcome. Not at the
Yeah.
same time, obviously. Guys, settle down. We've actually got a long line outside of DJs. We've had to hold them back because of the restrictions
Just stand there like,
in the cold. But honestly, like, we welcome everyone here.
that's love, man.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
That's what the key point's all about.
And
man.
thank you guys for embracing me as a DJ.
Yeah, man.
Because it's not my first first pick in my bag of tricks, but you guys embrace me as a DJ, and that's
Awesome, man.
that's something that I am. That's where I come from.
That's cool.
Not in the traditional sense, but in my own way. So I appreciate you guys embracing me as a DJ and as a performer,
course, man.
as a
Thanks
musician, as everything.
thanks
So
for
thank
coming
you
down,
guys
man,
for having
and
me.
bringing all your gear as well. Oh yeah, here we go.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yep. DKutz has his curfew alarm going off.
Yeah, don't know how to
And thank you
adjust
for
it.
whoever's in here hanging out, sticking with us. This is
Technology.
Yeah. Shout outs to Jess, Mark. Oh, I've got to click the users. And everyone else tuned in,
Yeah,
the
for sure.
usuals. Steve Blitz is still in there.
Oh,
We got Eagle Vale in the building.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully his internet's still working.
C-Town. Shout outs, man.
But yeah,
Sick town.
C-Town.
C-Town in the house.
So make sure you follow us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be
Yeah, for
back
sure.
tomorrow night and next week and the week after. Even when the clubs are open and
We're
we've
still
got
here.
gigs again, we'll
Yeah,
still be
man.
here on the Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
The Q Point's gonna go on tour.
We're gonna go on tour.
Sure, man.
We're going to go on tour
Sure. Q Point Radio soon.
through the internet.
Hell yeah. See,
Cool.
Yeah, man.
this guy's
Alright.
money ideas.
That's it. All right, guys.
Shout outs to everyone.
Thanks
Peace.
again.
Peace.
Again.
Peace out. Thank you again,
Catch you next-
Sergio.
Yeah, next time.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Let me do my sign off.